Okay, Chris Cullen back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and I'm filming for you the 40-gallon high. It's a community tank. I got blue gouramis in there, some roseline sharks, Congo tetras, a bunch of different tetras. If you look close enough, I do have a red-eye tetra, which is right there underneath the plant. He's got a red eye, and they're pretty popular tetras. You get them anywhere at Petco for a cheap price, you know, $3 around there. So I do quarantine my fish. I have a 10-gallon quarantine there at the bottom. I got a 5-gallon quarantine. I got two of them. One has community fish right there. You can see I got a good little community tank, and down there is firemouth, and you can't really see them out of the hide. And then I got a 40-gallon grow-out tank, okay, which right now has some baby jaguars that I'm growing out. I use that for a tank in case I have to quarantine any big fish. I have the 175 or any of the big cichlids I got. Anyway, getting back to this video, unfortunately I had a lice breakout. Now, lice is a lot like ick. It almost looks like ick, but actually, if you look close enough, I think this one right here might have it. You gotta look close enough on the side, or even this guy here. You can see the white skirt tetra has a little bit on his scales. I did treat this tank with lice and anchorworm medication, which is actually this stuff here. I don't know if you can see that. Lice is microbe lift. Now, unfortunately, when I quarantine, I quarantine with 4 different medications: Prazipro, Melafix, and that's mostly for antibiotic. Or I use Maricin 2. I mean Maricin with Oxy for that. I also use Maricin 2 for quarantine, and I also use General Cure. Now, unfortunately, when I used the Prazipro, I did treat like it says in the bottle, did a full treatment on it. But unfortunately, from doing some more information, some more reading, I should say, I found out that the Prazipro doesn't really work great on lice. So I actually already ordered some Fritz stuff. I got it coming in the mail here, hopefully tomorrow, and I'm going to treat the rest of the fish that are in quarantine right now. That's going to be their last treatment before I get them in the main tank. But yeah, I will be using the Paracleanse and the Expel P, which will get rid of whatever parasites that they may have. Now, unfortunately, I didn't quarantine that tank with Prazipro. I mean, those fish, the red-eye tetras. So we do have a lice breakout. Now, like I said, lice looks a lot like ick. If you ever confuse it, just make sure that you're diagnosing what the fish has correctly. And if you do have any type of medication, I would use it. Now, I keep medication for every type of disease in case I do get a breakout. And I think I had lice in my tanks about 2 years ago, and I used the same stuff. So I didn't learn my lesson, but I will check out the new the other stuff from Fritz, and I will be using that from now on. Now, whenever you quarantine fish, don't do what I do. Make sure you pay attention to the tank, pay attention to the fish. Make sure you look when you get them in the main tank that they have nothing on them. Now, lice is kind of hard to catch when you have when it's on a fish with the silver kind of shimmy scales, and I didn't catch it. So, but for next time, I will make sure I catch it and not put them in the main tank. Unfortunately, I did lose 4 fish: 2 black skirt tetras, 2 red-eye tetras. I'm sorry, 1 black skirt tetra, 1 red-eye, 2 red-eye tetras, and 1 red fin tetra. So it does happen. It's something you got to deal with. But next time I'll be. I like the Fritz stuff. I use the Maricin, so I'm gonna switch everything over to Fritz now, and take it from there. So just a warning for you guys. And when you quarantine fish, make sure if you quarantine fish, you get medication that does a little bit of everything. So, because there's always a chance that there's one of those diseases that are gonna come out and get your fish. So, I'm almost to the point where I want to do everything from Fritz in my quarantine tank. Just go for it and do it. That's what I'm going to do next. That's what I figured would be the best way to prevent that from happening. So until next time, rehome them. If you can't home them, rehome them, and be careful when you're quarantining fish. You never know what kind of disease they can get. You always want to be aware of fish disease. And like I said before, if you like the video, you could even hit the notification button. It's like a little bell, and it'll give you notifications whenever I do a new video. Subscribe if you know anybody who wants to subscribe. Even in the comments, comment. We'll see you next time.